All right. So before we continue on with the season, we need to make sure that Potter and Stewart are getting a heavy focus here on that second unit. I'm pretty sure that they were. Ooh, Hanzik was listed as the finisher. What's up with that? I didn't change that, or maybe I misclicked. There we go. I mean, if Stewart was getting that done without being the power play finisher, then goddamn, he might be able to do really well here. He might. Let's continue on. There might be playoffs in our future for the third season in a row. Again, it is season 4. We only missed the playoffs in season 1. We missed it by a freaking point, if I'm not mistaken. If we make the playoffs, cool. If we don't, cool. That's the situation right now. No expectations for this team, although we are fucking cooking up until losing to Chicago there. My mental health no longer exists after going to the Sabres home opener. You're a Sabres fan. You're a Buffalo sports fan, Dusty. You haven't had positive mental health from that aspect of life in a very, very long time. You should be used to this. You were born with no mental health. Molded by Buffalo sports. Dude, we are in first place in the division. Andrew Basha. He's only going to be out for a little bit, but 30, 15, and 6. A phenomenal month of hockey in Calgary. We are now 9th in goals, 8th in goals against, 14th ranked power play, 5th best PK, and first in our division by 4 points over Vancouver, although the Canucks do have 2 games in hand. So let's take a look. Is Basha? Dude, Basha might be the answer, yeah. He might be. Let's take a look. So Mitch Marner is our leading point getter, 52 points. Oh my God, speaking of Basha, talk about him in a minute. 52 points in 51 games with 22 goals for Mitch. Not bad at all. Hagen's point per game. Stewart up to 36 points in 51 games. This game tried to fuck on me by switching Stewart from the finisher to Hanzik. Logan Stewart's in the running for the Calder. He is absolutely in the running for the Calder. Potter's not too far behind. Hanzik had a much better month. Kadri's done great on the third line. Huberdeau, of course, has been hurt. Andrew Basha was his replacement. 22 points in 23 games on the top line for Andrew Basha. Let's go. Pelletier's been great. Puljujarvi's gotten better. Cam Atkinson has been terrible, but in general, that fourth line has been hot trash garbage. We might see if there's something we can change about that fourth line, but yeah, it's been pretty bad. Defensively, Uyghur's been great. Anderson's been phenomenal. Parek's been solid. Henry Muse has kind of turned it around as the season's gone on. Oof. In goal, Dustin Wolf. It's still not good enough, man. It's not good enough. A 904 save percentage. At least the goals against average is under 3. It basically says he's not facing that many shots and he's still allowing a hell of a lot of goals. The question is, do we change up the fourth line when the team is doing well? There's an argument to not, because at least if any line's going to get shelled, it's the fourth. So the change that we would have to make, we'd have to risk losing Trevor Hoskin on waivers, but he's never going to be a top 6 playmaker for us. We could opt out to a more physical fourth line. We were trying to give Corbin Appleby a chance at some point production. That has obviously not happened. You got Nestrassel as a power forward. Koivunen as a power forward. Gradin is a playmaker. Suniev's a 2-way. We wouldn't need a left wing, actually. Although, technically, will they ever add advanced analytics to the game? I hope so, but I'm not holding my breath for it. It's the best way I can phrase it. Taglia's not bad. Whoa! Hello, Nolan Fitzhenry. +5 on the season already for Nolan Fitzhenry. Woo! I don't like that fourth line is struggle bussing like this. And Luke Meesa's a playmaker. Maybe we just give some of these guys that have no shot of you know what? Fuck it. These guys are going to have no shot of making it long term. Let's just give them a chance on the fourth line then. Screw it. Screw it. We know they're not long term prospects. It's train them up and then get rid of them. We will send down. Yeah, you know what? We'll have Hoskin be the scratch. We'll send down Johnson. We'll send down Cam Atkinson. Both of them cleared waivers. Kind of shows you what the league thinks of them right now. Actually, Hoskin might get a chance on a higher line here. Let's get Luke Meesa in there. Let's get, was it Jacob Battaglia an opportunity? And just because of the injury, screw it. Hoskin will get a chance on a higher line. What did it fuck up with the power play? It says something fucked up with the power play, but it's not. I hate when it does that. I hate it. So yeah, Trevor Hoskin, there you go, buddy. Let's give you an opportunity next to James Hagens and Mitch Marner. Just to try to cheer you up a bit. And we'll go best lines down in the AHL and hope that the veterans can help out. How are the sauerkraut scenes progressing? I mean, Grieva at an 80. The other one's down at a 77. But Rehards was the one willing to become a sniper. We just need Gustavs to become a playmaker. And Project German Sedins is looking good. So actually, it doesn't look like we're going to play until Bash is healthy. I think he was projected to be back on the 8th. So he might be back before then. Huberdeau is going to be due back soon, too. And yeah, Bash is good to go. So Andrew Basha right back on that top line with Marner and Hagens, where he has been outstanding. He's already gone up a couple of overall points. The problem is, like, what do we do? Honestly, I'm going to put Stewart on that top power play unit with Marner and Hagens. If that can get him more points, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here for it. And that second power play unit, instead of Stewart, we'll put Bash in there. What the hell are we going to do when Jonathan Huberdeau comes back? What the hell are we going to do with Jonathan Huberdeau? Because he's going to be back very soon. We are a month away from the trade deadline. I think I can ask him again to waive his no movement clause, but no guarantees. 9-4 win over Anaheim. Let's go. Winnipeg, 4-3 win. Still looking good. Still looking good. Huberdeau is back. Basha has 30 points in 29 games. I cannot take him off of that line. Dude, Stewart's up to an 84, for God's sakes. He has 26 goals. Stop the sim. Rasmus Anderson gets hurt. Huberdeau's going to be pissed that he was scratched for the game. Huberdeau, am I able to piss you off even more by asking if you would like to request a trade? Now's the time for you to leave, my man. Now is the time. Will you waive that clause? Yeah! Yes! Oh, thank God. Like, here's the thing, man. Huberdeau has been awesome this season, right? He's over a point per game, but he's 34 years old. He's coming off of a fucking broken leg. And Andrew Basha has stepped up into that role. Oh my God. Batal is up to an 83. Hanzik might want to get his shit together because old Prop is coming for his job. Holy man. Again, Bash is a point per game. 22 years old. Promise your face off. So that's true. We might have to either train them up or change them. The thing is, as I've mentioned, I don't necessarily like to immediately get rid of people. We're in season 4, and I haven't gotten rid of Huberdeau yet. He's 34 years old. If Calgary could get rid of Jonathan Huberdeau, they would. It does affect their morale if they say no. Yeah. I know Prob with all in his family personally. Him and his brother are little shitheads. Dad's a super nice guy. Mom can be a test. I mean, this guy's what, 17 years old? Not saying Perek, obviously, but this guy's what, 17 years old right now? Something like that. Maybe even 16. It's tough to find a 16-year-old kid that's highly touted that isn't letting that shit go to their head, you know? I don't know about you, but the fucking student athletes in my high school were none of them even... we barely get people going to college on sports scholarships. They had fucking egos, so I can only imagine. Is there a deal out there right now for Jonathan Huberdeau? Holy shit. Well, I'll tell you, this trade is not going to happen. Because this just turns it from one playmaker to another. It does not help, especially because he's listed as a top line forward, just like Huberdeau is. It just does not help at all. Again, like if you look at the team right now, Huberdeau has been good for us, but he just doesn't fit the team, right? Basha works so well with the two playmakers, Hagens and Marner. Stewart, as a sniper, works so well with Potter as a playmaker. Like, the only way to keep Huberdeau in the lineup is to scratch or even trade Cullen Potter, which would be a horrific mistake for the long-term outlook of the team. There's no point in playing him on the third line, that being Huberdeau, because it wouldn't fit the role that we have the third line playing. Like, Andrew Basha has made Jonathan Huberdeau expendable. We got to find a deal for him. That should be our meme for 25. We always end up with Ken Johnson. Yeah. Huberdeau's got to go, man. He's got to go. Stewart and Basha as our top 6 snipers. Sounds damn good to me. Sounds damn good to me. But Kent Johnson is not the trade. Huberdeau willing to waive his no movement clause. We have the room to move on. Boston is interested and has the cap space. Dude, Huberdeau and Pasternak, that would feed families. That would be insane. Do the Bruins still have that defenseman on the block? They do not. I would still prefer to trade Huberdeau to an Eastern Conference team. Just because I do not want to run into him in the playoffs unless it's the finals. Sabres have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on the block. We might have to consider a swap with Dustin Wolf. We might have to. Any other Eastern Conference teams? We know that Columbus has interest. Skaters on the block. Oh my God, they're blowing it up. Werenski, Kent Johnson, Chinnikov, Kuzmenko, Voronkov. They're moving on from everybody. Is Chinnikov a third liner? Second liner. And a sniper with 11 goals. Ugh. Kuzmenko is a second line sniper with 16 goals. Uyghur for Werenski. The problem with Uyghur is just that Zane Perek is taking a spot. So Werenski wouldn't solve that issue. Although Werenski can apparently be played on the second pair. Apparently. So that could work in some ways, but not all of them. That is Matt Duchene, yeah. Detroit was interested in Huberdeau. Dude named Bednar, who's terrible. Plant, he's also a lefty. That is true. Don't want to mess with the team too much, but now might be a good time to do it. New Jersey is interested in Huberdeau. Seamus Casey. And a dude named Geet. Here's the problem, Casey. It's going to be, it's Morale. And another right-handed defenseman. So far, New Jersey's not a bad option because of Geet and Ekberg. Not that we need even more forward prospects, but that would be the best return so far. Emil Geet and Philip Ekberg. Playmaker and playmaker. Jesus Christ. All playmakers all the time. The Rangers are interested. Braden Schneider, not really what we're interested in right now. Who else is interested just to increase our return? Tampa. Not giving up what we're looking for. Vancouver, Vegas, Washington. Teams don't like to trade there first, unfortunately. It's something I've mentioned to them, like they need to fix that, especially around the deadline. No teams like to trade there first. It's not that they can't be acquired, but obviously you can't really do it for good value. Now, you could argue in this one instance, a Western Conference team would make sense because it is old man Huberdeau. I had to click on Dallas there because they had interest. What do we got? Yeah, nothing crazy. Who else is interested? Who else was interested? There was somebody else down here. It was Vancouver. Vancouver giving up a dude named Hines, Lakovic. That's not a bad combination from Vancouver. Hines, playmaker. Lyndon Lakovic being a power forward and a good one at that. Very physical player. That's our new Stromgren if we want him. Or we try to make some really fucking big play involving Columbus and what they have going on. Vancouver or Vegas interested? No. Winnipeg was interested, but cap space is tight. A dude named Severette, who's not. Actually, I mean, this dude's sick. Alexandre Severette, playmaker. God damn it. Everyone's a playmaker. Werenski has 1 year left and then needs to be extended. That is a very risky move. Especially if we give up Mackenzie Weegar in the trade. Charlie Ehrlich is there, who they are trying to move on from. But they're not looking to move any other, like, top-notch prospects. I mean, Werenski, Weegar. Technically, it could be done. Werenski doesn't want to come here. We're on his no-trade list. Okay. Well, there we go. That's off the table. That is off the table. Again, Boston didn't really have anybody that we wanted. Buffalo had Luukkonen for Wolf, which could work, but no other prospects that we want. Columbus, we know, isn't going to work out. Dallas didn't have anybody. That Vancouver trade might be the one. It might be. Hey, Lou, what's going on? How are you? Detroit did have Bednar, but he's only a 60. The forwards weren't as good. Yeah, Huberdeau willing to move or willing to waive his no movement clause. It's our chance to trade him away. Seamus Casey's a bit too good. But New Jersey does have Geet and Ekberg. I want to see how these guys compare. So Geet's 75, 20 years old. Actually, Geet was a 76. But that's fine. Again, the Rangers had just Braden Schneider, which isn't going to work out for us. We want a team that has interest in him to maximize our return. Tampa wasn't going to work. It looks like it's going to be Vancouver or New Jersey. The Vancouver option is better, but it's trading Huberdeau to a Western Conference team. It's trading Huberdeau in division. If he falls off, it could work out splendidly, but if he doesn't, that's a problem. The best player of the bunch is Severette from Winnipeg. 78 overall at 18 years old. As a playmaker, has potential to be a different player type if need be. I'm doing good, man. No complaints. And Lyndon Lakovic, though, as a fourth liner, could be decent. Winnipeg, Vancouver, or do we go New Jersey so that we don't have to directly deal with Huberdeau? I'm coming back to Sports Gamer soon. That is the plan. Nothing is set in stone yet, but that is the plan. That is the hope. I don't know, man. That Geet-Neckberg pairing might have to be it. 6'3", 188. This dude's Kevin Hayes. Big boy just doesn't throw the body. Dude, this guy's got a wicked shot, though. Holy hell. 91 power? What the hell are you doing as a playmaker? Turn you into a sniper. And then Ekberg as a playmaker, I mean, he's also got a decent shot, but you could even talk like two-way in his future. Oh, Ellie DeMar, how you feeling? I'm going to be on the road. I'm not even going to be able to see the game. Inuyasha, what's going on? Calgary would have too many skaters. Who can we randomly add? I got to add a random-ass forward. Because we have too many damn forwards on this team. Could be Tyler Johnson. Jersey would be over the cap unless we retained a bit on Huberdeau to get it done. Or unless New Jersey has somebody that we can take on. Let's see. It's turning into a more complicated deal than expected. Hamilton's not what I have in mind. Seamus Casey, but again... Honestly, the only reason to acquire Seamus Casey would be to flip him. Mason Marchment? He's got way too much value. Anthony Beauvillier? Beauvillier might not be that bad. Can I add Cam Atkinson? I don't think I can make it work cap-wise with New Jersey. It's either Vancouver or Winnipeg. Two solid young prospects in Vancouver with Hines and Lakovic. Honestly, even Erickson is a medium 9. And Bloss, Jesus, it's Vancouver. It's Vancouver. Dude, even fucking precision. I don't necessarily want to get this guy, though, because he was actually drafted by the Canucks, right? 2026, 2025, 2025. I don't mind going after players that aren't like actual prospects of the team. But if we can pull off like a 4-for-1 here, I'm feeling pretty good. Granted, we can't quite do an actual 4-for-1 because the numbers don't work out. But if we add Tyler Johnson, Cam Atkinson, that's not bad, man. I mean, it does get us a lot of forward prospects. It does get us another defensive prospect in there. PS5 is having trouble connecting with the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't stream. That's a shame. This has been a fun game so far this year. Vancouver's second. Where do we stand now? Nearly a handful of prospects and a second-round pick to send Jonathan Huberdeau to Vancouver. Vancouver's off the table because of salary concerns. Our only real hope then is Winnipeg. Fuck. And that means Severette is the primary guy to target. And Winnipeg also has some salary concerns. Do we have a veteran shipbird on 1 year left who's not worth much? Dylan DeMello, Ville Heinola. All right. It's not looking too good here. Trent Frederick would be a good fourth line get for us. Obviously, I really do not want to retain salary on Huberdeau. We might have to go to a team that's not interested in him. That might be the only way. Unless we give up a lot of return value by getting Dylan DeMello. Or like Petro. Petro's still a top 6 defenseman. I don't mind scratching him, though. I'm pissing him off. What if we go Petro and Frederick? I don't know if we can get this to go. I don't know if we can. Add Johnson and Atkinson. Winnipeg would still be able to get... Yeah. So we are not going to be able to maximize this return. That is just a fact. You just see Ovi on the Jets. You might have, because I do know he left in free agency. You did indeed. You did indeed. So again, if we can trade him to an Eastern Conference team, let's look at Eastern Conference teams. I didn't think the Huberdeau trade would be that difficult. Eastern Conference teams, they don't necessarily have to be interested, but they do need to be giving up some prospects that could actually help us here. Montreal for Huberdeau. Newhook, Granlund, Castellan. Yeah, it's outside of Luke Tuck, but he's 25. He's not even necessarily a prospect anymore. The New York Islanders. Yeah, they're just getting rid of actual dudes. Ottawa. Hensler. Hello. Top 4 defenseman Logan Hensler. We would have to give up our enforcer defenseman. That would break my heart to have to give up our enforcer defenseman. I don't know if I can do it. It's just too good of a meme. Pittsburgh, you love acquiring old dudes. And Yushkov doesn't really work. Chris Letang is 40. Toronto, you're one of our last hopes here. Chadwick. Washington, you're our final hope for an Eastern Conference team. Okay, Jesus, this is as expected. A trade of Jonathan Huberdeau is going to be less than ideal, but we have to take advantage of the fact he was willing to waive his no movement clause. I imagine that helped. Him being healthy scratch for a game probably helped. Hello, Crash Andrews, by the way. Twitch.tv/Crash Andrews. Ooh. Okay, Sachin's 23. You want to try to move the enforcer team? Ooh, that's fair. Artem Vilchinsky. Defensive team. He's not bad. Vilchinsky from Chicago's not bad. That is a fair point about asking the enforcer to play forward. We can check. You're right. That would open up space defensively. Mr. Kessler. Are you willing to play forward? His adaptability is not great. Change position? No. We tried. He's not willing to listen, though. He is not willing to listen. That is a shame. Okay. So that guy on Chicago, then, is probably top of our list. Just because of the cap hit for Huberdeau, it's difficult to move him, as you would suspect. Chicago would be a little bit over the cap as well. So we would need them to have somebody making too much money that's cheap enough to acquire. Lucas Reichel is not that. Chicago's out. Colorado. Is Colorado giving up anybody? Prospect-wise, no. Bedard kind of similar to Huberdeau, right? Edmonton would hurt. Zach Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, it doesn't work for us. The Los Angeles Kings, only giving up roster players, so doesn't work for us. Minnesota is going to be of cap concern, and outside of Amico and Kiviharu, doesn't work. Nashville doesn't work. Son of a bitch. Oh, dude, we're going to have the ability to trade Huberdeau, and there's just not a good fit for him. San Jose. Charlene Wallenius, who was a draft pick of theirs. 2022. Seattle? Nope. St. Louis. Outside of someone like Fisher, we are just not going to get a good return here. The Utah Hockey Club. Not really moving good prospects. Son of a bitch. Vegas. Vegas. Dylan, I appreciate the button press. I don't even know what the hell it means, though. I gotta be honest. I still don't understand the whole Twitch collaborate thing. Vegas doesn't have anybody else. Okay, so we're boned. We are boned in terms of the return for Huberdeau here. Just in terms of a good return. Honestly, Boston still might be the perfect fit just because Eastern Conference. They don't have any good prospects for us, but man, we can just take a hit on draft picks just to get rid of them. I don't think the Bruins... Nope, it still says they'd be over the cap. Jesus Christ. Any other Eastern Conference team where apparently he wouldn't be over the cap? What about Buffalo? They're on 50 contracts. We'd have to take somebody back. Is Buffalo. Do we take Kent? No. No, we don't. Nadeau. They'd be over the cap. Carolina. Carolina has the cap space to make it work. We could take on Alexei Haimasalmi. And just look to get a draft pick back, and at least he's gone. At least he's gone. Again, Huberdeau's had a nice little resurgence, but Andrew Bash is our guy. If they'll take this, I'll take it. All right. Let's see if we can give up a little bit to get their first round pick. Obviously, that'll be pretty valuable to us. Nelson at a high 9. I'd honestly like to keep. So, can we give up a future Tampa third? Huberdeau in third for Carolina's first this year? Quite far off. Okay, dude, we're not even getting a first. We're not even getting a first for Huberdeau. It is what it is. We just got to get rid of him. Your second rounders over the next 2 years. I'm going to safety net this with picks. 2 seconds, a third, and a fourth. Done deal. Jonathan Huberdeau on his way to Carolina after being willing to waive his no movement clause. A lot of the team is upset about it, which is understandable. But despite how well he's played, it was still the right move for us at the time, given the emergence of some of these younger snipers that we have on the roster. It was the right move. Stayed loyal to him for a while. I was honestly expecting that he'd never waive the no movement clause, but Basha and Stewart, we got to do it. You know, what are we going to send Andrew Basha back down to the AHL when he's a point per game? It's not my fault Jonathan Huberdeau broke his leg. Kicked his leg right out of his leg, and then we kicked him out of town. Had to be done. I cannot believe that, though. Gonna try Wolf for Buffalo's goal. I'm tempted, but I do want to see if a better goalie becomes available because the deadline's really close. Luukkonen's played well this year, but it's been as a backup, which is what we've seen Spencer Knight play as. So, let's see. Rasmus Anderson is healthy. On one hand, I really didn't want to get rid of Huberdeau, but just it had to be done. It had to be done. Bashad now, dude, I mean, come on. He's got 32 points in 31 games. He's insane. He's so good. He's so good. Has Stewart hit 30 goals? He's still on 27. But had to be done. Had to be done. Jacob Battaglia gets hurt on our fourth line. We are still first in our division. As of March 1st, just a few days away from the deadline. We have 2 games at hand on the Canucks to be in that top spot. Okay. Team's looking good. Dustin Wolf on just a 906. The question I have about Dustin Wolf is, what do high-end goaltenders look like this year in terms of save percentage? Because honestly, maybe he's not that bad. That's kind of the question there. David Pastrnak leading the league in points right now. Anything over a 915 is pretty good from the looks of it. Yeah, anything over a 915 is pretty good. Below a 910's not ideal, though. Okay. Well, we're going to see then at the trade deadline what goaltenders are available. We might have more options. Beat Ottawa 4-2, and that is going to bring us straight to the trade deadline. Battaglia is healthy. We'll at least get him back into the lineup. I think we'll be keeping him. Let's see. Mr. Not Appleby. Mr. Battaglia. Old Jakob Battaglia. I wonder if that Swayman guy's available. All right. Conservative buyer for us here. Ooh, almost skipped it. Enter the trade deadline. Who is out there? Devon Taves, Zach Werenski, but we know he doesn't want to come here. Taves, it's just he's 34. We can't risk it. Spot, Nuge, McCann. I mean, really, I am only looking for a goaltender right now. I'm happy with the rest of the team. Lord knows we got plenty of options in the AHL. Joel Hofer. Mr. Hasselhofer. 1 year left on his deal. 913, that's not bad. That's not bad. Not at all. Hell of a song. Hell of an AEW theme. Skipping it for the moment. Give me something to pump. Billy Joel, the ultimate pump-up song for the trade deadline. Let's fucking go. Go Mets. All right. So Hofer's okay, right? Hofer's okay. If it's not him, Billy Husso's contract is a tire fire. Jesus Christ. Uh-oh. Who got traded? Who got traded? All right, looks like it wouldn't have involved the Hofer. Ukko Pekka is still there. 1 year left at 4 3/4 is a bit much. And our old pal, Matt Sogard. How has Luukkonen done this year? He's still been really good in a limited sample size. Dustin Wolf for Ukko Pekka trade. Could be the way. Again, Wolf he's up to an 88, but he's just not getting it done. And he is going to be looking for the big-time contracts in the offseason. Thing is, we do have Spencer Knight. I think I'm going to hold. I want to give Wolf one last chance to prove it. because there's a very good chance he's going to develop a gold X factor. As I drop my goddamn water bottle and punch my desk in the process, there's a chance he's going to develop a gold. And if he can prove that he can actually make stops and has that gold, then in game, when we sim in the playoffs, he should be even better. But again, we have extra draft picks. Goalie-wise, Andrianov and Bodiger are both getting better. Defensively, our top four should be solid. We got some other defensemen we could try if the third pair starts to fall apart. Stewart's been great this year. Bash has been great this year to the point where all of a sudden we traded Jonathan Huberdeau, which wasn't the plan. The only thing you could legitimately argue is, do we trade Mitch Marner? Only because of the whole playmaker, sniper. But the thing is, it's not like I have this top-notch right-wing power forward to bring in. So, fourth line upgrade. I'm not too worried about the fourth line. Like, we're not gonna be in trouble if the fourth line's bad. It's if the rest of the team around them is bad. Marner's definitely staying. I don't think we have anything to do with the deadline here. I don't think we have anything to do. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to mess with it too much outside of the Huberdeau trade. We'll see what else went down. But yeah, I don't want to mess with it. I think we have a good thing going. We don't need to rush. Look at our fucking record. 38 wins. But let's see what else happened. Make Marner a power forward. I will try. Let's see. Emil Geet did end up getting moved. He went to the Rangers. Shanov got moved. Pittsburgh gets Adam Pelech. Not Braden Coots. Rangers involved in quite a few trades. Penguins involved in quite a few trades. Zach Hyman is now a New Jersey Devil in a deal involving Seamus Casey. Nashville gets Josh Norris, Devon Taves to Columbus for Kent Johnson and Charlie Ehrlich. That is a horrible trade for the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets also acquired Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for Chinnikov, Borgen, and Jass. What the hell is going on in Columbus? The Bruins have reacquired Matt Grzelcyk. Alex Newhook is now a Shark. Victor Arvidsson is on his way to Vancouver. Martin Fehervari is a Golden Knight. Braden Schneider to Minnesota. Warren Fogle, Pia Suter to Vancouver. Romanov to Utah. They love getting all the former Habs defensemen. Of course, we sent Huberdeau to Carolina for Hamasami and draft picks. I really didn't want to trade Huberdeau. Like, he was doing so well for us. But, dude, Bash is 12 years younger, and he is fucking crushing it. There's a part of me that really regrets it, but then Bash is over a point per game. Like, he was only doing okay in the AHL, 13 points in 22 games. He gets called up because Huberdeau breaks his leg after freshly switching from playmaker to sniper, and he has been playing out of his mind. 2 seconds, a third, and a fourth, and on an extra cap space as a haul. That's true. And to help the development of Basha is so important. Stewart is still stuck on 27 goals. Oh, Logan. Basha had 6 game-winning goals. Yeah. We are going to swap Basha and Stewart again on their respective power plays. Only because I feel like Stewart was scoring more goals on power play too. So I want to get him there. Basha definitely broke Huberdeau's leg. You know, that is going to be a hockey conspiracy theory for a long time. And there might actually be some truth to it. There might be. We have a regular season to finish up, barring... Oh my god, there's something just stuck in my eye that I cannot get out of there. Barring a horrific collapse, which has happened before, we're going to be a playoff team this year, despite the fact that in a lot of ways we took a step back, right? Like we traded a lot of younger guys, moved Jonathan Huberdeau for a guy who's 8 overall points weaker. But this team is cooking. This team is cooking. And for the draft class, of course, we do have our own first. We weren't able to get an extra first. Silas Andrews. Shout out to Rectum. You see what he did there. There's not a username I won't say unless it's racist. Shout out to Rectum for the follow. Tremendous name. Thank you. Old Silas Crash Andrews, all 5'8". Fun fact, that's exactly how tall Crash Andrews is in real life, too. We have the photo evidence to prove it. This guy is insane. And, of course, he is a playmaker. Unconfirmed all alone, but does have confirmed wheels. Imagine... Dude. Basha. Hagens. Trade Mitch Marner for Silas Andrews. I don't know what the future will bring. Let's continue on with the sim. Let's see. 42, make it 44 wins. Dude, this team might be able to win 50 if they keep going. Holy shit. Our starter down in Calgary with the Wranglers gets hurt down in the AHL. We lose Richard Grieva to injury for a little bit. Lost to LA, lost to Dallas. Dallas was at least in the shootout. Final game of March is against Philly. It's also a loss. We have clinched a playoff spot. We are 3 points ahead of Vancouver with 2 games in hand. So it is our division to lose. It is our division to lose. 5th in goals, 8th in goals against, 14th on the power play, 5th on the PK. Mitch Marner, currently our leading scorer. Wolf still rocking a .906 save percentage. He's played in 60 games. Auto rotate, not doing too much work for us this year, apparently. The 32-win Preds. This should be a win, at least on paper. It is 5-1. The Utah Hockey Club. The 39-win Hockey Club who are fighting for their playoff lives. We win 5-2. The 34-win St. Louis Blues. AHL good to go as we beat the Blues. What a season in Calgary. My goodness. Still haven't clinched the division title yet, but we're very, very close. Edmonton is where Wranglers forward Rasmus Rene breaks his nose, apparently. Edmonton is a loss. Vancouver, I'm a Vancouver, is a shootout win, and that seals the division title for your Calgary Flames with 3 games to go. Huh. I never expected this team to be this good. I mean, I felt like we made good decisions on who we moved with and who we stuck with, or who we moved on from and who we stuck with. I did not think we would win 51 games. Make that 52. An unbelievable season in Calgary sees us as the top team in the Western Conference. Jesus. We will be taking on either Minnesota or San Jose. Vancouver plays Vegas. And then Chicago will take on whoever we don't play. Dallas plays Utah. In the East, Toronto plays Tampa. Buffalo against Florida. Detroit will play New Jersey. And we have Rangers and Flyers as the Calgary Flames. Oops. Finished second in the league. Only behind Toronto. Jesus. Our best season to date in 4 years at the helm of this franchise. Kings in the basement with the Kraken, the Jackets, the Hurricanes, and the Preds. And we got a Carolina draft pick all there, too. So not a good time for Jonathan Huberdeau. In terms of the point scorers, I want to start with the goalies first, if it'll let me. I tried to keep something a secret there. Dustin Wolf, 40, 18, and 4, 2 shutouts, a .906 save percentage, and a .284 goals against average. He has to be better in the playoffs. Otherwise, we will be looking at Spencer Knight, who has had another phenomenal season as a backup for this team. Defensively, great seasons for Rasmus Andersson and Mackenzie Weegar, especially Anderson, who was limited to just 69 games. Outstanding. And any concerns I had about giving him that contract extension are gone. He has earned it tenfold. Zane Parekh had 45 points this year. He's still not a top 2, but he's going to be very soon. Henry Muse and Yanni Yermo were awesome on the third pair. And Kessler, the fucker can't skate, but he was a plus 26 as an enforcer. Might not fight a ton either. But he throws the body around. Aaron Kessler, had to keep him. What a player. Right wing side. Mitch Marner led the team in points with 96. He also had 42 goals. And Logan Stewart has more than likely won the Calder. 59 points and a plus 16, 36 goals for the 19-year-old. It was a risk to play him on the second line instead of Sharon Govich or Coronado, both of whom we traded. It worked out in spades. And Jesse Puljujarvi on the third line. Not bad. Not bad at all. Left wing side. Andrew Basha, 48 points in 54 games. Outstanding for a guy who started the year down in the AHL and again only got into the lineup to replace Jonathan Huberdeau due to injury. Cullen Potter also has a shout for the Calder. There is a chance that Potter has stolen it. Huh. Pelletier, good on the third line. Appleby on the fourth line, not so much. Jacob Battaglia, though, stepped in. Did really well on the fourth line. Well done, Jacob. I mean, you're never going to be like a big star player for us, but shit, you might have been able to earn a spot somewhere else. And then, oh my God. James Hagens, we said he was that franchise centerman. He has developed gold third eye. 93 points for Hagens. Awesome. Honzik turned around a very slow start on the second line, did tremendously well. Naz on the third line has lost all of his abilities, but he is still a good player. Hoskin, of course, didn't do too well. He was outperformed by Luke Misa. Hoskin an 80, Misa a 75, and Luke Misa was a better NHLer than Trevor Hoskin. Go figure. That pairing, though, of Hagens and Marner, especially with Marner scoring goals. Damn. League-wide, your leading scorer. Wow, scoring was actually down this year, which makes what Basha did that much more impressive. McKinnon, Pasternak, Nylander, and Hughes are the only 4 to hit 100 points on the season. That is significantly down, and I haven't changed anything about scoring settings. Pasta was 65 goals, McKinnon 61, Kanserov a 56, and a 54 goal total there for Austin Matthews. Defensively, Quinn Hughes is probably going to win the Norris, unless they give it to Adam Fox for the improved plus-minus. Great year for Morgan Riley as well. Makar just had a down year. Winning us goaltender is Stuart Skinner. You also had Joseph Wall up there. Montembeault, Ottinger, and Wolf all with at least 40 wins. The shutout leader was 7. Montembeault and Thatcher Demko. Best save percentage. I don't know if Husso would have played enough games to win the Vezina, Odds are it's Ottinger. But yeah, who knows? Maybe that Lucan and Knight combination would have been pretty good. For the rookies, who is going to win the Calder? Is it Mikey Burchild? The Burchild with 60 points and a +5. Is it the 36 goal scorer Logan Stewart on a +16? Or is it Cullen Potter also up there? And honestly, Andrew Basha has an argument. +30, 48 points in 54 games. Had he played the full season, he would have won the Calder hands down. Hands down. I don't know if the game would factor in Basha winning the Calder for just 54 games. Let's be honest, in real life, Connor McDavid did not win the Calder because he missed time due to injury in his rookie season. They gave it to Artemi Panarin instead. But it is worth noting that had Basha played a full season, he was on pace for 72 points. Unbelievable season for Andrew Basha. We totally overlooked Hanzik as well, who was up there. But we might not win the Calder, but this was a tremendous season for us in terms of setting the stage for the future. We do technically have some expectations. Like we were the top team or the top seed in the West. We draw Minnesota in the first round, but I got to be honest, my approach, it's house money. If we win, cool. If we don't, is what it is.